Hey, welcome back to another episode. So, today we are going analytical and getting into the thick of things that may be a bit deep, so I'm going to need you to follow me, okay? Take your time and follow me. Like my childhood riddle used to say, we used to sing, there will be no hesitation, just concentration. Let's go. Do me that favor first, YouTubers, and subscribe to the channel, please. And at the end of the podcast, or even during, hit that thumbs up button and don't be afraid to let me know you are out there. And I just got off my soapbox last week about the comments, so there's no need for repeats of that, okay? So let's get into it. Life is just like a jigsaw puzzle. The pieces are the different parts we experience that make up our unique journey. And depending on the pieces that are selected, it might be difficult to match the pieces. Then a piece might be identified and fit, you may pick a piece and it may be identified and fit perfectly without any challenge. And then you might pick a piece that stumps you and can't figure it out where it belongs. So what do? Do you keep trying to work the piece that doesn't fit perfectly into that section in the partially completed puzzle? Or do you put it down and move on to another piece that will fit into the puzzle easier for instant gratification? Sometimes it's just best for you to reset. It's best for us to reset. This helps allow you to assess the situation, clear your jumbled thoughts, and actually tap into patience and strategic thinking. Pausing is A-OK. See, I use this analogy to make better sense of life. You see, I find that we oftentimes can make a situation way more complex than necessary. Our fascinating brains are capable of a multitude of functions that I actually do not have the capacity to dissect. But what I do know is that the cognitive aspect of the brain that pertains to thinking, problem solving, and decision making are crucial in life. You hear me? The 3-pound organ. Yes, you heard me. 3 pound. It's a 3-pounder. 3-pound organ controls our lives. Oh, don't get it twisted. But we have to be cautious of this in not allowing it to overexert itself. So that's where I was talking about that pause and resetting. Let's go back to the puzzle analogy, okay, which is similar to assembling an item. In my case, it was a dresser drawer that I had to put together, and I was very excited to receive the dresser drawer. But when it arrived, it came in a flat, heavy box, okay? This meant I had to assemble the dresser. Oh my goodness. Oh my God, this. You see what I'm saying? You hear that? You hear what I'm doing? The dreadful feeling is overshadowing the joy of receiving the dresser. I'm moaning and groaning, huffing and puffing. I didn't even open the box. I just felt the weight of the box, having to pull it inside. That was enough for me. And I instantly started to dread it. Now, when the dresser was being delivered, I initially did not know what to expect. I guess I was leaning more to it being completely assembled, but that comes when you order it from like a furniture store. But you order it from these other stores, they package it up and then you have to put it together yourself. And that's why I started to feel burdensome. I started to feel the burden. And although I don't mind assembling things, my mind wasn't there. So when I opened that box and I saw hundreds of tiny little pieces, probably wasn't hundreds, but it seemed like it probably was 50 or 80 or something like that. But it was all taped up in bags and all these shiny little parts of fasteners and screws and all kinds of stuff. It was a game changer for me. My attitude really shifted. Now, the first part of it is dragging the box in. That was extremely heavy, so that was already a problem. Shoulder almost came out of socket trying to do that. I don't know who told me to do. Thought I was She-Ra or something. But anyway, I was just like, but then when I opened the box, it was taped up extremely. That's another thing. It's like, oh my goodness. So now I have to chainsaw that apart. And, just getting to it, it was just instant dread just came over me every time the excitement had faded. There were like several concerns. Here's what the concerns were. The length of time it was going to take me to complete it. I was concerned about that. And then the amount, as I've already stressed, of fasteners and bolts and parts, and like it was just overwhelming. And then the last thing was that, will I be able to follow the instructions? Right? Like all these pieces, I have to follow the instructions, And all of these concerns, what were they? Preconceived notions and negative thinking. That's what it was. That set the tone for my completion of the project. Before it even got started, all of that occurred, and basically I was just setting myself up to fail. That's really what I was doing. I took myself through all those negative outcomes. And why? Because I allowed myself to be intimidated by objects, pieces and parts to a dresser drawer. When you break it down like that, it just sounds so silly. Without even taking a true assessment, I had already went in the fighting ring, got beaten up, thrown down, smacked down, black eye, everything. Just done. Over a dresser drawer. Can you imagine? The time and energy I allotted to my concerns just slowed me down from really completing the task. I was worn out, like I said, in the ring before I even got started. But I had to work through my emotions first to get to the matter at hand. Isn't that incredible? You see how silly that is? I don't understand why I had taken myself on a marathon run. I didn't even sign up for that. You know what I mean? But I did it. And I didn't even need to do it. I didn't even need to do that. I put myself through unnecessary discomfort, uncertainty, and anxiety. And for what? For what? All due to preconceived notions. You see? And this is something we often do in life. We have all the pieces we need to build our unique journey. Yet, we can become paralyzed by uncertainty and anxiety. You see? Let's do something with those pieces and parts without overthinking. You even have an instruction book. We all have this instruction book that we know exists. But many of us just, shy away from utilizing the tool to help us. This tool, will help us navigate through putting the pieces together. Even navigating through life. Think about it. Assembling a bookshelf, a dresser, a bed frame, all that can become overwhelming when we focus too much on the individual parts. Our minds are incredible. It can create barriers that convince us of all the reasons we cannot complete the task. Right? If we fall victim, we do that. Or the difficulty in completing the task, as you saw in my whole analogy about this dresser drawer, made it appear difficult. And this is when it can lead to the cycle, the vicious cycle of self-doubt, where our internal dialogue fills our minds with limitations. It happens so often. The self-talk can really skew our perception of the pieces we need to assemble our lives. Oh, I told you we were going to get deep, didn't I? And this becomes particularly challenging when we allow our confidence to be spooked as we step out of our comfort zones. That's what we do. It's easy to feel overwhelmed by the number of parts or pieces, whether they are challenges or decisions, the expectations that are imposed by others. Oh yeah, you know all about that so well. People have so much to say to you about your life. Yeah. So, like, I'll give you an example. The belief oftentimes that you need a degree to land a specific job, right? And I'm not saying that not to go to school, but I'm just saying that people sometimes won't even try for a job because I don't have a degree, I don't qualify. You understand? And instead of pursuing opportunities, we may listen to the voice of doubt, allowing it to dictate our actions. But a few years later, you may have overcome that limited belief, right? And applied for a similar job and actually was hired based on your experience. And you didn't have the degree. It's fascinating how the puzzle pieces once felt mismatched took center stage and delayed the progress. See? Those pieces represented the hundreds of fasteners and screws and bolts I saw and convinced myself I wasn't qualified to assemble. Imagine that. So the key takeaway here is to recognize that we all have the pieces necessary to create our own path. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, follow me? You hear me? You feel me? Don't let preconceived notions or self-doubt hold you back, okay? Embrace the challenge of assembling your life. Embrace it. It's a gift. It's a gift. And remember that it's okay to seek guidance from that instruction manual, if you know what I'm saying. We have the gift to navigate through the complexities one piece at a time. So, until next time, on A Dose of Nikki, I want you to be well, my friends. Please be well. Dose of Nikki.